This is my first review, and I'm reviewing the new Colorspace UDMA2, which is the replacement for the Colorspace for the iPad. And the first version of the Colorspace for the iPad actually plugged into the docking connector in order to transfer information. And if you wanted to get information off of your device, you had to plug it into for the first version, you had to plug it into the cloud FTP device that the company makes, and then use the cloud FTP device as a Wi-Fi hotspot, so to speak, to transfer information back and forth. This is the Colorspace UDMA2, which uses Wi-Fi only, and I think it can be used in an ad hoc network as well as a regular Wi-Fi network. I have yet to try it out. I just arrived today. I wanted to do a short video on my thoughts so far. This right here is the Wi-Fi dongle that plugs into the side. The YouTube, it looks like I have to measure and see the exact dimensions of the screen, but it looks like it has a fairly decent big screen for this device. I thought the screen was going to be much smaller. And then you can see on the side that that's for, I think, the SD slot and a mini to regular USB cable you use to plug into a computer. And on either on that side or this side, I'll have to see which side, but to plug into a computer. And then here is for the compact flash card slot. And then I will show in a second this with the hard drive that I've already installed. It feels fairly heavy for a unit of this size, and you can see it's fairly thick also compared to how thin the iPad is. But I put in a Western Digital Scorpio Black, a 7200 RPM 2.5 inch hard drive, and it is a 500 gigabyte hard drive, which is the one I could find at the time, so I could get to using the product before I went on my 2 shooting trips. And I was going to get the Scorpio Black 750 gigabyte hard drive, but I couldn't find it readily in the time frame I had before going on my trip on Thursday to the U.S. Open tennis tournament. This also comes with, I just wanted to show quickly, the case, and it looks like it has a belt clip so you can carry it around. It comes with, as you can see, the screwdriver, which in a minute I'm going to tell you how important this is to keep with you, especially if you want to use a second battery. As you can see on the back, where's the battery compartment that you can open easily to replace the battery when you're in the field. It looks like there should be one down here because this is where the battery is, but it looks like there is not one. And I think that's the first thing that was a no-brainer to me that they should have added, was an easy clip-in battery compartment so you can easily replace the battery. To replace the battery, which I got, you can see over here, the second battery, because I thought for $20 that was a pretty good deal. I know it's supposed to last something like an hour and a half or so per charge, which is, and I'd have to read up on the exact specs again to refresh my memory on whether it'll transfer 16 or 32 gigabytes per one charge. But on a shooting trip like the one I went to, the Monterey Historic Car Races, and over 3 days I shot 6 16 gigabyte cards and part of an 8 gigabyte card. So with that, you can see how you might need a second battery. Okay, here you see down here I've taken out the screws, and now I'm going to show you the inside of the case. Now you just pop off the case. Now you see here, this is where the battery is, and this is the hard drive. It takes any SATA hard drive that's currently on the market. I forget whether it's SATA 2, but it probably takes the latest versions. And so that's that part. And you can see I had to take out the screws in order to get at the battery, which I think is a definite design flaw that they should have thought of. They thought of being out in the field and needing to replace the battery quickly. Do you really want to be fumbling around with taking out screws in order to, and potentially losing those screws, and the time taken to get the screws out in order just to replace the battery and get on with shooting? So that might be one minor drawback so far. I will report back when I had a chance to charge it up and start using it. One other thing I wanted to show, the this, which is the charger that goes with it, and then over here you can see the manual that comes with it. You can also get the manual online. The unit will not be officially available on their website for about one more week. I was able to get one earlier since I was going on a shooting trip. And then this is the cable. That's the mini USB to USB cable if you want to hook it to a computer. And I think that's all that came in the package. So, but anyway, I was told that no longer with the Wi-Fi enabled adapter, which I'll show again here, no longer do you need to use the cloud FTP device to get information off your iPad. That was one concern I had, was when I'm using Avid Studio for the iPad, which is a really, really great app. Needs more features, but otherwise is a really great app. Very easy to use, uses screen gestures, pinch and zoom and flicking to delete stuff, etc., but that's for another review. But anyway, how do you get your information off the iPad once you're finished with your project? And that was a big question I had. And with the original Colorspace for the iPad, there wasn't a solution until they came up with the cloud FTP device, which then you could plug the Colorspace version 1 into the cloud FTP device and go back and forth between the iPad. I will be curious to see how well viewing photos directly, if you can, directly from this device, if, how well that works, if it's possible to do that, or whether you'll have to transfer the information to the iPad first before you can view the photos. It would help me if I could view the photos quickly directly from this device onto my iPad, because my iPad is, even though it's 64 gigabyte with video, I use the Canon 60D in 1920 by 1080p resolution. And from the little I've looked at my video of the auto racing, the first major shooting I have done with the 60D, it looks really good, but takes a lot of space. So right now, because I have one project already on my iPad, I don't have any room to put my photos on. So that's the point I'm making, is can I view the photos and video directly from this device, and how quick it is. I have another device another way where I was trying to remotely from another location go through my computer at home and pull up video. Now I was able to do that, but it is really slow and cumbersome. So it is really pretty much a pain in the backside to be able to do that. So we'll hope that this device makes it much more robust and easier. If it does, that'll be a very much plus in this category. Alright, this is the end of my review of the Colorspace so far. When I get back from my shooting trip at the US Open, I will have more time to review the product further after I have used it for a while longer. See you on the next review.